Hello and welcome back to Rage Gaming. My name is Hollow and today we're talking Jurassic World Evolution 2. That is a mouthful. This upcoming sequel is your classic theme park sim, but with the awesome skin of Jurassic Park. You're making money by running a fun and entertaining park. It's just that the basis of that entertainment is dinosaurs. Now, as we've learned from Jurassic Park, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that concept and nothing could or ever will go wrong. Now, the game actually comes out early November, but I had the chance to play it a little bit early for roughly 2 hours recently, and now I can share that footage with you in a video. So big thanks to Frontier Developments for this opportunity. Now it's time to talk about it at last. Since I've only had the brief 2 hours of play, these are going to be my first impressions of the game, you know, my honest thoughts after a short time playing the game, so definitely don't take this as a full review. But to cut to the chase, I think it's pretty good. It's a polished, classic theme park sim that leans into that Jurassic Park concept very well, and I was also very shocked and quite excited to hear Jeff Goldblum, of all people, in the intro to my gameplay.
Everyone was so caught up in the moment. So impressed with what they'd accomplished.
Jeff was casually in the back whenever we made any progress, basically questioning what we're doing and highlighting the incredible danger of the choices we're making. Please, Jeff, I know what I'm doing. Oh, look, one of the T-Rexes is out again. When we jumped into the session, I had about 30 minutes or so to follow a short story and tutorial, which basically got me to grips with the basics of the game, which was then followed by over an hour of joy and terror of running my own Jurassic Park. The story of this one takes place all over North America, and in this mission, we return to a former failed attempt at a park. We're basically here to fix it, get it running again, and make some money. And I quite like the way that this is set out. A ransacked park that we've got to recover. There's this huge amphitheater at the center and that feeling of excitement that, hey, I'm about to be in charge, I'm about to run this. How do you run your own Jurassic Park though? Well, first up was getting things back online, getting some staff to work on the park and, you know, power to run it. Here we have the control center, the science center, a viewing gallery in the big amphitheater in the middle. The control center is sort of your source of rangers. These are the people you send out on missions to capture dinosaurs, oversee them to learn what they need to look after them, and of course have them repair anything and everything. While the science center affects your progression and everything we have at the beginning is obviously low level, once you get some scientists involved, you can research new tech or building improvements alongside the dinosaurs too. Meanwhile, the viewing gallery and the amphitheater work as entertainment for the guests, the main draw being the dinos, of course, so we want the guests to have as many ways to see them up close and personal. There's all kinds of ways you can do that, but it's important to actually make money from your guests once they're there. That way we can upgrade our park more and more, you know, draw in bigger crowds and make even more money. So catering to your guests kind of goes hand in hand with that. You need to provide toilets in the correct places, and we can make good money from things like fast food joints, merchandise stores, and so on. Beyond that, we can create hotels to give guests a longer stay, and of course, squeeze them for all they're worth. And in case something ever goes wrong, can't imagine what that would be, there's security things that you need to manage, like bunkers, to give guests a place to hide, giving them the illusion of safety that they, for some reason, need, these cowards. In any case, the better you provide for your guests and give them great ways to actually see the dinos, the higher your park will be rated, which unlocks more options and draws way more guests to work with. Making money and providing security is all well and good though, but there's a key part to this we haven't talked about: the dinos. The dinosaurs themselves need managing well because it's pretty easy to upset them. We have captured and caged them for our monetary gain after all, it's kind of fair. So to begin with, I needed to create areas to actually contain them and organize it well for optimal viewing, and then go on to increase our variety of dinosaurs in the park to increase our draw. We started with some basic electric fences that need to be powered by generators, a detail I missed until late into the session because my T-Rexes kept trying to get out of the non-powered fences. Each dinosaur will need different things though. Herbivores want the right plant life to actually eat, while carnivores are going to want live bait to chase around. All dinosaurs need a source of water and the right environment itself, like grass, sand, or whatever. Before long though, you'll have a nice little area going for each dino. What's most important is the comfort level of each dino though. Some need to be solo, some need to be out in a herd, some need way more space than others, that kind of thing. The more agitated they are, you know, the worse the comfort, the more likely they are to rebel and try to break out, and that's something you need to stay on top of. The dinosaurs all have unique animations for hunting or fighting one another. I actually think in the first game there was achievements for getting specific monsters to fight one another, and you could actually take pictures of all of this and sell it for chunks of cash. Just maybe don't take pictures of the dinosaurs that get out, and how are eating your guests. Dinos can also get sick, and if it does happen, it will occur quickly and you need to react fast. So I built a medical center to sort of watch over them, kept the rangers active in their outposts. But even then, like, I did accidentally let a few of mine die. You have to act very quickly when an illness pops up because it spreads really fast. But what of the progression of the park itself then? As I mentioned, scientists will play a big role. You hire new staff at different costs, and the more expensive ones have better stats. Those stats are used when researching new tech on new dinosaurs, and basically the better scientists can research things all on their own, while the cheap ones need to work in a big team, basically taking up their time and slowing your overall progression. We can research new buildings like new ways to power the park more effectively, like pylons, which are way less invasive than the huge generators. Or new ways for the guests to actually interact with the dinosaurs, or maybe research fossils to get new dinosaur species in the mix for the bigger draw. Your staff need to be managed too though. When you have scientists cranking out research all the time and working permanently, they're going to get upset. So you do need to manage them, give them R&R time to recover their energy and not overwork them, which is pretty easily done. Just like any good city builder or park sim, the layout of your park is also really important. Having suitable roads and footpaths for those in your park and managing the power of it all, and that goes hand in hand with the aesthetics of the park itself. You want something nice to look at that makes sense, rather than just being technically functional in a gamey way. There's lots of little details with furnishing that play into this stuff that aren't going to play a direct role in the stats and functions of your park, but do make it look a lot nicer. Adding plant life, lights, areas to hang out, better pathways. You can create an awesome park beyond just the literal stats and function, which is an important aspect to any good builder sim to me. Just stopping and watching the staff or guests do their thing is pretty satisfying in games like this. I don't know what it is about people watching, but these games seem to have a good handle on letting you do that. You can watch them go into the restaurants or hanging out at the hotel, watching or interacting with the dinos, being eaten by the dinos. I mean, what? Now, it might be obvious to some of you at this point if you've played the original. I haven't. So I was going into this pretty blind, learning as I went. And I was wondering, after I played, what are the main differences between the first game and this one? What was my experience versus the original? It's definitely very clear to me the visuals and the UI of this game have had a huge update. The detail of the game has been improved a lot, it would seem. The sheer amount of options and micromanagement of every building is one example. Compared to the first game though, it definitely seems like we're going to be in more varied places through the story. The first game had very similar looking locations for various parks on islands, and that was a big complaint it seems. Here we jump around North America as a whole, which should provide a nice variety of terrain and environments that hopefully they lean into. A feature I was told about in the original was power outages, which suddenly leaves your dinosaurs agitated because they don't have what they need, and also your electric walls are no longer powered. A similar mechanic was mentioned during my session, but it didn't happen for me, where storms can damage your park. So I guess you need to be ready for these things to kind of hit the fan at any moment so you can save as many lives as possible and minimize damage. So in conclusion then, what are my first thoughts? I think this is a pretty polished theme park sim, that classic style that's going to fulfill a fan of the genre, with basic progression leading into the incredible efficient awesome parks or expensive messes that are huge hazards. It's really up to you. As far as the Jurassic Park theme goes, I just think it's a good fit for this type of game. I really enjoyed all the little details. The dinosaurs themselves look fantastic and work really well. The sound design is spot on. Ultimately, all they need to do to give us a good time with a game like this is to give us fun reasons to run each park. Try to give you an interesting setting or situation. And it seems like they're trying to address that in this game compared to the original. So overall, if you're a fan of dinosaurs or theme park sims, I think this will suit you well. But those are my first impressions of the game. Let me know what you guys thought. But until next time though, I've been Hollow, you've been you. Thanks for watching.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.